first up, we are tracking a breaking piece of input from the United States. Former United States President Donald Trump has indicted in federal court connection with his retention of classified government documents at his Florida home after leaving the White House. Now, Trump has been charged with 7 counts in the indictment. At least one of the charges against Trump will be a conspiracy charge. Now, the former president wrote on Truth Social that he had been informed by the Justice Department that he was being indicted and that he was summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Now, this is the second time in recent months that Trump has been criminally charged. He remains under criminal investigation by the Department of Justice and a Georgia state prosecutor for his efforts to reverse his loss to President Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Now, he's been charged in classified documents probe. The other charges are federal grand jury approves a 7 counts that includes obstruction, false statements, and financial wrongdoings. Now he's also ordered to appear in Miami court on Tuesday. Now, Trump said that this is a dark day for the United States and has refuted from all the charges that have been leveled against him. Now, Trump is also facing fresh new criminal charges in 2 more cases. Trump claims that he's innocent in all the charges leveled against him. Trump is also running for the presidential elections in 2024. Let's take a look at some of the reactions from Donald Trump.
It's just a continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out. But it's called election interference. They're trying to destroy a reputation so they can win an election. That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election. So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. And that's exactly what we did. But now, again, our country is in decline. Very unfair, but that's the way it is. I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly.
Mr. President, what do you say to Americans to convince them that they should trust the independence and fairness of the Justice Department when your predecessor, Donald Trump, repeatedly attacks it?
Because you notice, I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do, or else to bring in a charge or not bring in a charge. I'm honest.
Well, joining me on the broadcast is my colleague Siddhant. Siddhant, well, there is a lot of renewed attention on one of the most notable cases in the judicial department's history of US. Now, what is the legal basis for the summons of former Donald Trump?
Well, there are a few cases that were knocking at the door of former President Donald Trump. And in fact, one of those cases in which the charges have been framed last time around was a criminal case of paying a lawyer, his lawyer. Trump had allegedly paid his lawyer to settle the matter with the porn star with whom Trump had alleged relationship. So in that particular case, the indictment took place and the criminal charges were slapped on Donald Trump. This time around, this is the case of playing around with the classified information. Now, the Donald Trump is facing at least 7 charges, and in fact, what sources are telling us is that it includes willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding a document or record, corruptly concealing a document or record, and concealing a document in a federal investigation. So these are some of the serious charges that have been slapped against Donald Trump. So he has to appear before the courts in Miami on Tuesday for this entire process. And again, he is likely to get arrested. Then he'll be applying for legal routes to get out, which is obviously bail. So this is the second case. Now, Donald Trump has to say that since he's running for the office and he is more popular than President Biden, and this is nothing but the biggest witch hunt in the history of United States of America. Trump also has to say that Trump is also accusing that it is nothing but interfering in the election process. So this is what Trump has to say, and he says that because Biden administration cannot hide their failure, so they are fixing him. So these are some accusations that Donald Trump has been making even from day one. But this is the second case, and in fact, there are other pending investigations also, which can knock the door of Donald Trump any day. But in this particular investigation, this is a federal case, not a criminal case, and former president has to appear for arraignment in federal court in Miami on Tuesday.
Okay.
Back to you.
Well, Siddhant, help me understand how likely are the chances that Donald Trump will actually testify in person, and how might that impact the outcome of the entire investigation?
Well, Donald Trump is not going to accept the charges that are going to be slapped on him, or perhaps he's not going to accept this particular indictment. Then there is a procedure of arrest, the same way how it happened last time in Manhattan court. And also many believe that those who have been following American elections closely, they believe that this is nothing, but this could increase Trump's popularity, because of these cases only Trump is getting media headlines, and in fact, this entire proceedings get covered by American media, and that this will perhaps help him to become more popular. And also the Constitution of America doesn't stop anyone, even if he is convicted, to contest the election or run for the office. So any case or perhaps any conviction, or maybe if he's sent behind the bars, cannot stop him to contest the election, and that is the power of the American Constitution. And Trump understands it very well. So again, it will on Tuesday. It's the visit of Trump to the Miami court is going to be high on optics. He's going to come in his private Trump famous black color Trump aircraft. Then he will again be presenting himself to the court. He will not plead guilty, and then the arrest procedures will take place, and by the evening he would be out of the court. So that is going to be open. It would be full of optics, the Trump optics, and the whole day the American media, in fact the world media, is going to cover it, because never ever in the history of the United States the former president has been called to the court twice in two different investigations, and has been indicted twice in two separate cases. So it is very unprecedented what is happening in the United States, and that is why Donald Trump is calling it a witch hunt.